Hey guys, Brad Bowman, Lucian045 on the forums. Here to show you how to apply some decals onto your pin machines and your main machines. I'm going to show you two different types of techniques. One would be with a pre-mask and one would be without the pre-mask. You may get your material sent to you in different ways. If you get them from me and it's for your pinball machines or for your main cabinets, they will not have a pre-mask, and this material has air release in it. The other way, you might have it with a pre-mask on it, and this would be for your lighted marquees with translucent vinyl that does not have air release in the material. So I'm going to show you the two different techniques for that. Alright, these are the things you're going to need. You will need an X-Acto knife for cutting, a squeegee with a felt side, and then a hard edge. A pair of scissors, of course. Some release tape is what we call this. You could also use masking tape, whatever type of tape that is sticky enough to hold your graphic in place. And then this is a mixture of isopropyl alcohol and water. 70% isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so we're going to start off with just doing a regular side decal on a piece of material. So pretend this is your back box, and I'm going to show you how you should set this up. So once you get this set up on your back box, how you want it, nice and even, you're going to take your tape and stick it in the center of the graphic. So if this was your back box, you would take the tape and wrap it around the side of the back box and keep it in place, and the other side the same way. Or you could have somebody hold the top or the bottom of the graphic down while you apply it. Once you have it where you want it and positioned properly, you're going to take the top part or bottom, either way, we'll start with the top, remove the graphic from the backing and pull it down to the tape mark. Grab your scissors, cut the backing away with clean hands, of course, because you don't want to ruin the graphic behind it for sticking to your back box. Hold the graphic up, take the felt side, because this does not have the pre-mask on it, felt side of the squeegee, starting in the center on a little bit of an angle with even pressure, squeegee up and down. All the way through the graphic, all the way out, all the way down. Once that's down, remove the tape, lift up the opposite side of the graphic, pull away the backing, and then do the same process. Starting in the center, straight up, straight down. Even strokes, even pressure, straight up and straight down, starting in the center of the graphic. And that's how you apply that. This material has an air release. Any media you get from me will have air release unless it's, like I said, for translucent printing. But for pinball cabinets and things of that nature, I use an air release. So there is no bubbles, zero bubbles. Okay? That's how you apply a graphic without a pre-mask. If you were going to use and apply a graphic that had a pre-mask coating on it, again, the process is the same. You would line up your graphic how you want it on wherever you're putting it. Tape it down in the same manner. Once it's taped down, you then again pull the graphic back. The pre-mask is stuck to the graphic itself. Pull it back to the tape. Cut the backing away. Now, this is where you're going to use your isopropyl alcohol. You're going to just squirt the backing so it's coated with just a little bit of water. Now you're going to take the hard side of the squeegee, again starting in the center, straight up, straight down. You need to use firmer pressure when you do this because generally these prints, especially for translucent material, will not have air release. So by wetting the material, using the hard squeegee, starting in the center with firm, even strokes, taking a little bit at a time, you're going to minimize bubbles. You will not get bubbles out of your material indoors. You would have to take your material, bring it outside and let it sit in the sun for 3 or 4 days for the material to shrink. So if you do it this way, when you're applying your marquise, you're not going to have any bubbles, or very, very little bubbles, let's put it that way. You'll then pull this off and do the same thing on the other side. The reason why I use a mixture of water and isopropyl alcohol is the alcohol... Okay, sorry about that. We ran out of batteries on our camera, so we're going to continue where we left off. What I was saying in the previous video was the reason why I use a mixture, the isopropyl alcohol and water, as opposed to using soapy water, is because it'll take twice as long for the soapy water to dry so you can remove your pre-mask. The isopropyl alcohol does the same job, but it dries quicker. Okay? So here is the graphic down with the pre-mask on the material. So after it's dried, and hopefully it dried long enough while we were changing batteries, you're going to want to remove the pre-mask on a 45-degree angle. Slowly. Okay? I'm going to just put it down on the table. Be easier. 45-degree angle, nice and even, especially around these corners. You don't want to pull too hard. You just want to kind of remove it, alright? Especially around the corners, because you could nick the corner and lift it, and then you've pretty much ruined your graphic. Again, a bubble-free application using the water. By the way, these are decals for a soon-to-be pinball project that'll be on the forums. He's going to be posting after he gets his graphics and finishes his build. The name of his machine is Pinsanity. So now what I'm going to show you is, this is about half scale. We're going to actually apply this onto a piece of material, and I'll show you how to just do a bigger graphic. It's the same manner, but what I thought would be good to show you guys is this graphic has a nice bleed border, and this is what we're talking about for bleed border. Meaning he's got the edge of the graphic here, and then he has left over a little bit on the edge to wrap around the side of his box that he'll cut off. This way he can line up the graphic perfectly where he wants it on the edge of his box, making sure that all the visible graphics, prints, or people, whatever, is within the area that he wants, but still has a little leftover material just in case he's a little off on the box building. Okay? So this is what's actually called a bleed border. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to do my best, because obviously this is my makeshift pinball cabinet, not cut. But I'm going to align this up where I want the graphic to be, because then I'm going to cut the rest of it away. Okay. So imagine that this is your box, and you've lined up your graphic so that you got a little bit overhanging all the way around your cabinet, because you've allowed it for a bleed border. The process again is still the same. Grab your tape and stick it in the middle. Now the difference with this is, obviously this would be gone away, so you would actually take the tape and tuck it around the box. You tuck it around, but same thing down here. This is how I installed mine. I took this and I tucked it around the box. The best way to do that in this case is to actually take your knife and just kind of cut here and here so that you can wrap this around without pulling on the graphic. But for this case, I'm just going to wrap it right around. Or again, you can have someone actually hold the one side of the graphic in place while you do this. If you're not familiar with doing this, this is about, like I said, about half scale. This right here is 24 inches. And that's about the size of what your graphics are going to be on the side of the side art. This is about what you would be holding, this height. So if you're not comfortable holding the material in place with one hand and squeegeeing it, have somebody hold it for you. Make sure when they hold it fairly loose, keeping it out in the same manner. Application again the same. Grab your felt squeegee, take your graphic, pull it back to the halfway mark, take your scissors, cut the backing, grab the graphic, kind of let it float, take your felt squeegee, start and center. Even pressure, straight up and down. When you get to the end here, you can go across this way to brush out any air or the side pieces there. Then you're going to remove your tape from around the back of the cabinet and down here, and do the same thing on the opposite side. Remove the backing, start and center. Now your graphic's down on the side of your cabinet. Now if you notice, this would be the inside of the cabinet, or basically the outside. You can see that you have your overlap, your bleed border. This is what you're going to want to cut. Now on the box, you're going to take your X-Acto knife, and you are going to take it perfectly flat, running it right along the edge of the box, and you are going to cut right down through the graphic. Of course, there's not a lot there to show you. We'll do it over here. You could start at the top or whatever, but here I'm going to just start right here in the center. So now I have it right up against the edge of my box, and I'm going to go nice and evenly right down through. And then you continue on the way up. Go to the other side. Cut your graphic nice and even, right along the edge of your box. Now, of course, I'm showing this to you on a piece of flimsy material. I don't have my box pinball cabinet here or anything to show you in that manner, but the process is still the same. Notice that my graphic lines up right to the edge. Alright guys, one last time. We ran out of space on our card, but like I was saying before, here's the finished product with the bleed border right along the edge of your cabinet, cut away so that your graphic is lined up right on the edge, and then nice and neat on the bottom. So that's the importance of having a bleed border, so that you have the extra material to wrap around and you're not showing the bare wood of your cabinet. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helps for applying the graphics. Remember, if you get graphics from me, they will have the air release for your pinball cabinets and for your main machines, side art, even the control panel stuff, so that you're going to get a felt squeegee along with what I do for you. And then remember to get a squeegee with the hard edge, and if you have a pre-mask, and then also the isopropyl alcohol. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, just hit me up on the forum, and look forward to seeing what you guys design. Take care.